need to buy more bobbins, man. She's back. Winding some bobbins. Till everybody gets here. Gonna need like 2 bobbins for this. I'm just gonna take this one apart. This is Mara 100 and I never use it. Okay, got another empty bobbin. The one thing I liked about using Mara 100 thread is that a whole bobbin would last you forever. But when the thread's thicker, it doesn't happen. We got 2.5 bobbins. Hopefully that lasts us. I'm gonna start with all of my handles so that I know I won't run out of any kind of thread. That's always really frustrating when you get almost done with a project, you're top stitching your handles, and you run out of thread. So we'll start with that. Hey, Elizabeth. I have a little bit of a headache for some reason, so you guys will have to bear with me if I seem slow. Try not to judge me. I woke up with one, took some ibuprofen, had a little bit of soda, didn't seem to help too much. I think I just need to drink way more water. Thought maybe it was a caffeine headache. Well, I'm gonna change my needle. I like to do that between like different things I'm making. And I made that leather bag and a bunch of wristlets yesterday, so a nice fresh needle. I'm using size 20. I have found that that's like my sweet spot. Gets everything really nicely. Make sure it's in there nice and straight. I'm using Superior Threads Tex 46. Yeah, bonded nylon. I'm using white thread. Oh, that's good. This is a vinyl. This is vinyl from Joann's. It's nice stuff though. Ah, I'm so excited for this. I've got a little bit of extra heat and bond, but it literally just like peels off. so I'm not too worried about it. It'll come off. So, first thing we're going to do, like I said, is all of the handles, because I do not want to run out of thread while working on them. I got all of this antique gold hardware from Gold Star. Oh no, Ruth, I'm so sorry. Feel free to like PM me with problems you're having. I'll try to help. I'm not like a super genius when it comes to this machine, but we get along. Anyway, so I got all this hardware from Gold Star Tool. It feels pretty good, and shipping was 99 cents. So it was like $15 to buy all the pieces I needed. Perfect price, let me tell you. Okay, so I'm gonna sew these two pieces together. To reduce bulk, you wanna sew it at an angle. Yeah, hold on. I know this. I know this. Hold on. Yeah. Maybe just no. Again, yeah, guys. Headache. I know how to do this. Wait. You sew it like that. And then when you open it. You know what? It's not going to be that thick. I'm just going to sew it together and it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. Right seams together, right sides together at a 90-degree angle. Backwards L. Yes. Okay. Yeah, like that. Thanks, guys. Thanks. Okay. I'm going to do this at my other machine because it's thinner. Still have yet to use a zipper. Okay, be right back. Alright, thanks guys, sorry. That was a brain fart. Straight up. Okay. So, I didn't do a wonderful job, but it's sewn together. It's just gonna get folded and stuff, so I'm not worried about it. So what you want to do is you could use double-sided tape if you want to, but you can brain. Come on. So you can fold it in half this way and then fold those edges inward, but I'm just going to fold the edges inward because it'll work out in the end. Using steam helps. There we go. Oh my god, that looks terrible. would love to clean this basement. Like, seriously needs it. Okay. So this is going to be one side of the crossbody strap. This is the underside of that. You just fold those edges in so that there's no raw edges. And then for this guy, I'm going to use my double-sided tape. Along the center. It probably would have helped if I had marked my center first, but it'll be fine. I can like see the center, so I'm not worried about it. Yeah, Elizabeth, I want to paint the basement so bad. I'm so upset I didn't do it when I moved in. But my dad was like, no, it'll be fine. Just change the light bulbs that are burned out and then it'll seem brighter. But it's still like, it's such a dark gray. I would love to do something fun. But now I'm like comfortable and moved in, so it's hard. So you're just gonna fold the edges in towards the center. I will come help you paint. Ugh, I don't even have time to paint. I was gonna pay this guy to do it. It would have cost like $200 and something, which was totally fine with me at the time, especially since we had just moved in. I had a convention that weekend, so we were out of town anyway. And like, nothing was on the walls, nothing was where it was supposed to go. Now I'm just so comfortable. Oh, that's so cool, Elizabeth. I'm super jelly. Okay. So now there's the base. There's the vinyl side of your double-sided strap, and then we'll have the cotton side. I am going to use a whole nother piece of double-sided tape because it's going to make my life so much easier. My machine can handle it. Thank goodness. If your machine hates double-sided tape, maybe use a basting spray or just go really slowly and clip. But this will be all good. I could use a 1/4 inch piece, however, I want to make sure I catch all raw edges of this part of the strap. Shay, I bet you wouldn't even come help me paint. You just like say you would and then show up and just pet Ben all day. So now I'm gonna line these up and just go really slowly and press. Bagstock has instructions for her straps, and what she does is she'll cut the fabric piece a little bit smaller than the vinyl piece so that you can see like little peaks, a little bit of the vinyl from the fabric side. I didn't feel like doing that, but it's a really good final finish. I'd come sit on the couch. Yeah. Kim, this is vinyl. All vinyl. My cousin is a vegan and isn't really a fan of leather. So we're doing vinyl, which is all right with me because that's cheaper. Okay. Oh, Shay, awesome. Maybe I will have you come paint. So now our strap is ready to go. We've got one side vinyl, one side fabric. I'm gonna go from the fabric side and just so really close to that edge, like 1/8 of an inch away. My stitch length is set to 4.5. You could probably do a 5, but I just want to be sure that I catch everything. Make sure my bobbin is happy. Everything looks good. Thread is good. Yeah, I need to try cork. So let me start over with my thoughts. I had a lady contact me once. She wanted to have me make the bags and sell them to her basically at cost, plus a little bit of time, I guess. And she sent me the materials, and she sent me quote-unquote cork, and it felt like craft foam. It was so disgusting. So I've just kind of been put off ever since. Like butter, expensive butter. Yeah, I probably should try it. Okay, so if you wanted to stop there, you're done. Or you can sew another line down the middle, and I think I'm gonna do that just to add a little pizzazz to it. Oh, there's just thread. Butter is pretty expensive these days. Come here. So there's our double-sided strap. This is my slide adjuster, which is a little wide, like comically wide. Maybe I have a different one. I feel like I had some extra Joann's ones. I made my sister's. Where would it be? In here? I literally saw them just the other day. Cindy, you're too funny. Shame on me. Here somewhere. I have like a drawer full of random hardware. What did I do with it? Is it here? No. in here? No, not in here. Does anybody else do that where they're like looking for something and they can't find it? Anyway. Shay, what's really sad is I love Moana. I was listening to the music in the car this morning. Because I am a child. You guys have days where you just like don't have your shit together? I did the first 50 times. What was even in this? Where did I get this from? Ay, ay, ay. Alright, I'm checking one more place, actually. I can't even think of where it would be. Alright, I give up. It's giving me a headache. You haven't seen Moana. Okay. So I'm just going to slide it into this comically large slide adjuster. I didn't think it would be this big, but look how big this is. Like, that's no. That's a no. But that's all he had. I just kind of watched the first Lord of the Rings, and it was boring. I like Lord of the Rings. I like it. The Hobbit was boring. You guys, like, I know I had it, but where did it go? I can see it in my head. What did I do with it? What did I do with it? Not in there. Not in there. Not in there. Not over there. Not over there. All the time. No, I don't want to use 2 D-rings. I don't even have 2 gold D-rings. That's my thing. Like, I don't ever use gold hardware. She requested it. Maybe it's over here. Nope. Aren't there 2 slide adjusters in a package when you buy them from Joann's? Yeah, I need to finish watching The Handmaid's Tale. I thought I had 2 of these containers full of junk. Found a barrette with Lena Dunham's face on it. Not what I'm looking for. But I'll wear it. Nope. I feel like I was cleaning up when I saw it. This is sewing, you guys. This is real life sewing. I'm gonna find it. I know I saw it. But what was I doing when I saw it? It's nowhere in here. Has anybody bought slide adjusters from Joann's? Do you guys know if they come in a pack of 2? Because I only used 1. Up here. I'm so sorry. There are 42 people watching, and you probably all think I'm like a psycho. I made my sister's bag back in like March or April. Maybe May. I don't know. Time is not linear. It's not in there. There are 2 of those little bins somewhere. Okay, I give up. I give up. They are 2 to a package. It's like you're living my life right now. Oh man. No, don't tell me that. Now I'm literally gonna wonder for the rest of my life where it is. Like there's only so many places it could be. And I feel like I just saw it the other day. Like I was cleaning up and I was like, oh yeah, there's that slide adjuster. I'll use it on my cousin's bag. Hell if I know. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Nope, nope, nope. I will find this fucking thing. I'm gonna find you. Gonna find this fucking slide adjuster. It's not there. It's not there. Damn it. Maybe Ben saw it? Yeah, probably. Actually, I'm not getting the door. It's not FedEx. Hold on. I gotta go to the door. Oh. Ben took it. I bet that it is. Oh no, I know where it is. I know where it is. I know where it is. I think. Please. It'll be in this random box. Please. No. Dang it. It's not in there. Poop sickles. Poop sickles, man. Poop sickles. Okay, never mind. I give up. I don't know where it is. I can't find it. I'm sorry, you guys. I don't know where it is. I don't know where it could be. And looking for it has given me a headache. just gonna sew this on. It's gonna look fine. It's gonna look fine. That was a great 10-minute break. I'm so sorry. Why did I sell them in a pack of 2? So you can lose the other one? It drives you nuts? Just go cuddle Ben. Guys, I don't know. I've literally emptied out all of these drawers. I'm looking for an antique gold slide adjuster because my cousin requested gold hardware, and the slide adjuster I ordered from Gold Star Tool is like 1.5 inch. They don't have 1 inch, and it's like, you sell the 1 inch hardware. What are you doing? So sorry. I know it's funny. It's really funny. Like, it should be in this drawer with all my slide adjusters. But it's not. And I've emptied this whole thing out. This is all my like schmishma hardware. It's not down there. I literally just reorganized the other day. So it's okay. Anyway, let's get back to the purse. Let's forget about it. We're adding the connectors and the strap hardware. I think the buckle will be fine because you can kind of like slide it around. It's no big deal. And if I ever find it, I'll tell my cousin to send me the strap back. I know, like, I didn't like reorganize totally, but I reorganized some. I just like put things away. Like, I wouldn't have gotten rid of it. You know what that means though? It's just time to buy like all the colors of hardware so this never happens again. Obviously. Yeah, probably right. Okay, why are you skipping stitches? So, I love how there are less people watching now that I'm not looking for it. So, like, she gave up. I can't watch this lady anymore. So there is the double-sided crossbody strap. Ugh, man. I don't think I'll ever find it. But I can see it in my head. Let me just completely empty this out so I didn't put it in here like sneakily. Okay, so there's that. And now I can make my shoulder straps. You like the double-sided straps, Ashley? They're pretty cool. I like 69 on leather, but I prefer 46 on vinyl, especially something this thin. This is a fairly thin vinyl, so I'm still using 46 on the vinyl. But I like 69 on leather. Sounds like an awkward thing. I need more water. Blurred. So when the doorbell rang, it was shoes that I ordered from Amazon, but I'm not gonna lie, I really wish that it had been a gold adjustable crossbody strap. Kylie, I was thinking that. I was like, oh god, that sounds weird. I thought about doing the double-sided handles for the bag as well, but my cousin wanted to use it like in school and for like interviews. It would look like a nice bag, so perfect. Oh my god, Shay. I like 69 Tech 69 bonded nylon thread, wind sewing with leather. There we go. How's that? Hi, Shay's mom. This is not a sex show. This is a sewing show. Well, it's just a video of me losing my freaking mind. I don't think the leather part helped. Sewing is way better. So much more enjoyable, in my opinion. Okay. We are so classy. Okay. So set my strap to the side, grab the other one. now my shoulder straps are finished. And so that's all the straps done. Now I'm going to sew my applique piece on. I'm gonna switch to a 4 stitch length. I don't want it too thin. No, this vinyl is not melting with the flame. Some vinyl does, but this one is really more like a faux leather. It's nice, it's a good one. Who knows, maybe it's treated with like a flame retardant too. So if you guys did not watch the prep video, right now we've got canvas that is fused with 101 and 809. Karen, that since it's a bonded nylon thread, it kind of tends to fray at the ends, so burning the edges of it kind of melts it a little bit so that it does not fray. Yep, this vinyl is from Joann's. This is Whisper, I think it's caramel. No, this one's from Joann's, not fabric.com. This is what the back looks like. This is the fuzziest I've ever had it. Usually it's hard to describe, but usually it's not such a fuzzy backing. It's more cork feeling, if that's something, I don't know. But then we also, yeah, Patricia, you asked that and I'm just too lazy. So I just melt them because burning things is more fun. So then I added a little bit of Heat and Bond Light and then fused the two pieces together so that there's literally no shifting skin. Anyway, so now I'm gonna start sewing it together. I'm using a 4 stitch length and I'm just sewing really close to the edge. I'm gonna back stitch carefully at every corner, just real slowly, and that helps secure those pieces. And with that Heat and Bond, there is no chance of any shifting, which is ideal. I'm not a machine, so this isn't going to be 100% perfect, and that's okay. For me, anyway. That and my cousin only paid $70 for this bag, and materials alone were like $50. So I'm not really worried about it being, like, I'm still gonna do a good job, but looks like thread, but it's not. Doesn't look good in the video, it looks better in person, so just take my word for it. She can pull your hair, yeah. She'll like it. There's the second one. Kylie, I just got your comment. Like what the back feels like. Does it feel like skin? No. Oh, this is looking so cool. So that's what that looks like. It's so pretty. It looks so fancy. Alright, so there's one outside piece done. And now I'm gonna grab my other outside piece with the zippered compartment that we added or will be adding. We're gonna work this out mentally. Okay. So I've got a 5" by 1" piece of vinyl folded over by 1 inch. I'm going to sew the ends of my zipper together. Probably could zip it. Yeah, there we go. Sewing the ends of your zipper together will help it not bust open. Wow, really? While you're sewing that accent piece of vinyl to it. These zippers are from Zip It on Etsy, and they're pretty cool. And I think there's a discount code in a group somewhere. Probably the Swoon group. I'm just sewing right up against the edge. You could probably even make 2 lines of stitching if you wanted to get really fancy. Guys, I just love burning stuff. Okay, so there's what that looks like. Now I'm gonna sew it on the other side. If you have trouble keeping it all in place, you could use a little bit of double-sided tape if you needed to. I'm still using a 4 stitch length. Hi, Brittany. Ooh, that one got cool looking. All right. So there's the section. I'm gonna iron that zipper really quick. Probably should have done that first. I didn't think about it. Just a little bit will help. Yikes. Oh, oops, what did I say? It's bad I don't remember, huh? Okay, doke. Sorry, Kim. Okay, so I have my zipper facing the left. That seems right. And I'm just gonna baste it in place because then I'm gonna add this. No, I can do it all at once. So I'm sewing it to the top first, and then I'll sew it to the bottom. And I'm gonna center this as best as I can. And clip it in also. So, oh, that's not centered. There's a few inches on either side. So this is the top of the Emily, this is my zipper panel, and then this is the lining of that zipper panel. And we're gonna use about a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. Try and stay as straight as possible with your sewing. You might have to unzip it when you get to the hardware. So just keep your needle in place. Oh, it's all good. Like, did I curse though? I don't even know. Is that sad? Okay. Perfect. So now I'm going to roll this seam up, pointing the top of the bag, and I'm going to top stitch using a 5. And I want to sew through that seam, just really close to the edge. This is gonna look so cool, guys. We'll figure it out. Whoa, that's awesome, Elizabeth. I bet I look like a giant. Okay, for some reason my machine skipped a stitch. I think my needle is in just a little crooked. So I'm just gonna go back over it. No biggie. Okay, so there's what that looks like. Oh, thanks. Isn't it glorious? I love it. Okay. So that's gonna go there, and that's gonna go there. But when I sew through it, will I be closing my zipper? No, maybe. Let me figure this out. Maybe I should have started with the bottom. So then that'll be like that. I'll be sewing through both layers. Yes, okay. Solution, cut it in half. Problem solved. Oh my God, Trish, that's crazy. All right, so now I've got it attached to the bottom piece with right sides of the lining together, and I've cut it in half. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, you can do that with apple too. I just never even thought about it. My cousin just texted me and said she loves the applique on the bag, so yay! I sent her a picture just earlier. Okay, switching back to a 4. I'm just following along with the edge of my foot. I gotta unzip that just a little bit. Make sure everything's lined up nicely. Zip my zipper back up. So we have an extra, just about ½ an inch on this panel. So I'm gonna have to cut off ½ an inch from the top, but that's easy to do, no problem. All right, so now to top stitch this piece, I've cut these open, or not cut open, I'm actually gonna press this open. The size needle I'm using is a size 20. So I'm gonna press from the wrong side of the bag, the lining basically. Just so I make sure it stays nice and open. Switch back to a 5 stitch length, and then we're gonna sew along this side. So you should be able to see your lining poking out the top. This looks cool. Good job, guys. Make sure you keep your lining out of the way. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to clip these pieces together and sew them to each other. And I will be closing it up. Oh, okay, I see. No biggie, no biggie. So there's a little tiny piece that is open right here, but it's literally a finger wide. Like nothing's gonna get through that. However, what I am going to do is I'm just gonna sew along this part. One more time. Just to like triple secure it. No biggie. Or, ooh, I'm doing that. I'm gonna rivet it. Oh, that'll look so nice. Screw this stitching. We're gonna rivet it. What I like about this vinyl is that if you steam it, the holes come out. So I'm not even worried about this. My machine hates uninterfaced fabric, so it made that pocket all wrinkly. Alright, so I'm just gonna add 2 little rivets really quick. One right here. And one right here. Come on now, I know you open. Screw it. I know what I buy. Are you guys enjoying me struggling on your 55-inch and 70-inch TVs? Nobody told me no one could ever come close to me. Yes. Oh God, that was a perfect idea. Looks so good. Alrighty then. So here is the zippered panel attached to the Emily. It's a nice big pocket, sewn shut. I don't know that I've ever said that. You could use it for both. I know that people have, so maybe I referenced it to that. You can use 7mm. I do have some 7mm. They're just so tiny, I never use them. But they would be good for accents and really thin fabrics. Whoa. Oh, I'm so excited for this. I feel like a big old loser for being this excited about it. Okay, so this is for my recessed area. This is for the actual recessed zipper. This is my recessed zipper. Inside, inside, inner zipper. Haha. What size zipper is this? Oh, it's a 10-inch zipper, so forget about this. Don't need that. Yeah, I feel like it would work. I think it'd be fine. Okay, so my rivet setters are from Gold Star Tool. Okay, so now I'm going to work on my shoulder straps. Shoulder strap connectors. And I have 3. Gonna need 4. Where'd the 4th one go? Seriously though. There it is. No, that's the bottom of my bag. Guys, can I just get my things together? Is that possible? Ooh, grommets. Yeah, I want to experiment with grommets at some point in my life, but my luck, I would lose them before I had a chance to use them. Oh no, Kathy, I'm so sorry. I can commiserate with you. I've been there. Alright, you guys, I'm just gonna go cut another one because I don't even care. It's on the floor somewhere, probably in my lap. Or maybe I've sewn it to something else. Rotary cutter. How does that even happen? Okay, so there's my zip end. There's a new thing of that. I bet I lost it while I was looking for the crossbody strap. No, these are my cutting table scissors. Don't bring them over here, that's how stuff gets lost. Yeah, it's with your slide adjuster, of course. Okay, so now that we have 4 side strap. Oh my goodness, you've got to be kidding me. Now we have 5 shoulder strap connectors. It's just lying on the floor. They said no to all. Well, they probably said no because they want you to spend more money. Could be. Some people have problems with Gold Star Tool. And yes, I brought a house elf home and he's taking everything. They should be helpful. But of course I got stuck with Creature and I'm a half-blood. Not a pure blood. Anyway, thanks for that. That was funny. problem. That was super nice of you. You didn't have to do that. But it will definitely get used. Oh, it was a woman. Mm. Well, it could be that she didn't want to say something that is like you'd have to know how to use it to make it work that way. I don't know. I was trying to see the good in people. So tape in all of my strap connectors. Oops. Aw, thanks, Wendy. Okay. So now I'm gonna add some tape to the back of these as well. If you were to make these connectors for the Emily out of a really thick leather, you would want to have raw edges and edge coat them probably, because it's a little too thick otherwise. I'm ironing all of my zippers while I'm thinking about it. Yeah, Karen, no problem. I messed up 4 times and then I finally figured it out. So that's how I do things. My cousin gave me this little strap swivel clasp that she wanted me to include in the bag. So I'm gonna make a little key finder for her. How do I want to do this? Because this is like the same. Here's how I'm going to do this. All right. So I don't want this to be too thick in my seam allowance. This is like a little strip of vinyl to sew into the side seam so you can clip your keys to it. So I've just got a single layer of the vinyl and then added another one on top. So that it wouldn't be too thick in my seam allowance. So I'll just string it through, find the center, and then I'm just going to sew down the middle. Now this will get sewn into the side seam of the bag, and she can just clip her keys to it, and she can find them really easily. So there's that. Anyway, what I was doing before I interrupted myself. Oh yeah. Check that these are the same size. Whoa! They are the same size. I iron my zippers so that they're not wavy. Yeah, these are the same size. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Grab my ruler. Yeah, there's such a little thing you can add, but they give it such a nice touch. An expensive touch. What kind of sex show are you watching now? Talking about expensive. Yeah. Well, Helen, we weren't sure since I added the zipper, but what you cut out, you put back in, I guess. Okay. So we're gonna line these up at 4.5, 1.5 from the top, 4.5 in. Why are these so big? Why can't you just sell 1 inch? Okay. Yeah, it would definitely be too big for ribbon, but that's a good idea, the grosgrain ribbon. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4.5. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, that's beautiful. 1, 2, 3, 4.5. 1, 2, 3, 4.5. Okay, so now we're gonna sew these bad boys on. I'm switching to a 4 stitch length, and I will be adding rivets to this. Hold your thread. Just go really slow. And then I use a little piece of fabric or something behind my foot so that I don't mar the vinyl with my heavy-duty walking foot. So at this point, if you weren't going to use rivets, you could make a box stitch along that connector, which would look nice. But I will be using rivets, so I'm not going to worry about it. And then just because I love burning things, don't want a snow day, no. I'm actually cooking for dinner, you guys. It's gonna be crazy. I've been going to bed at a reasonable hour, and I'm gonna cook dinner? Like, whoa. Oh, I'm so excited to add them to this panel. Gonna look so cool. Is it 5 right now? Oh, it is 5, Ashley. I've got an hour till I have to make dinner. I know, right? I don't think he minds though. When I had like a regular full-time job, we'd go to bed together. He's been enjoying it. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4 and a half. Line that up. Oh, looks so good. I just wish these were 1 inch. 1, 2, 3, 4 and a half. Connectors, they're a little big. I'm gonna make some kind of chicken thing and mashed potatoes and corn and maybe bread. A reasonable bedtime, I would say, is like 11 p.m. 10:30, 11. That's when I've been going to bed. Waking up at like 8. Someone's playing wifey. I'm not even trying. I just am really tired of eating out. We've eaten like 5 meals at this house since we moved in April. How disgusting is that? Ugh. Like if we made a scrapbook of every dinner we've eaten in this house that we made, we would have like 5 pages filled. I make lunch and breakfast for myself here a lot, but at dinner I'm like, I don't want to cook, and he's like, I don't want to cook, and I'm like, okay then, where are we eating? Or it'd be like, well, I have a million orders to work on, I don't feel like cooking. Oh, wonderful. Thank you, thread, for breaking. And it's taken me on. That is awesome. I would love a man that would cook me dinner. Like, I'm the breadwinner anyway. The sad part is, like, CJ's a pretty good cook. We're just in a lazy lifestyle. Oh, Evelyn. You would not want my husband to cook. Alright. Let's add these rivets. So I'm gonna add 8. 1 and 2, 1 and 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, too funny. He burns everything. Call him Calcifer. really need to make a calcifer fabric. He can boil water if I turn the stove on. Oh, you guys are so funny. I'm gonna add a rivet to this just because I can. Oh wow, Evelyn, that's a big difference. Can't even grill. Oh man. That's like the manliest form of cooking. Oh well. Maybe, is he pretty at least? He can't cook, but he's pretty. Okay, there we go. Cute. He's cute, that's good. Alright, so I'm just going to use pen mark to make sure my rivets are fairly even. The pink press or the hubby? CJ hates the term hubby, like detests it. Like never call me that. Barbara, they're actually the same press. They're both from Gold Star. I just got the green one first, and once they released the pink one, I was like, well, I'm gonna need that. So now the pink one is for making holes, and the green one is for setting them. So I don't have to change out every time. Yeah, they actually have a, like the quote-unquote purple one they call it, but it is more of a fuchsia. Anastasia has it. I think they should do an anodized metal one, because that would be amazing. Okay. I know my cousin's gonna put a lot of stuff in this bag, so I want to make sure it's nice and strong. That, and I think 2 rivets just looks super sharp. Yeah, exactly. It's super handy to have the hole punch and then the setter separate. So there you go, you guys. It saves time, it's a time saver. Okay. So I put the male end through the back. Cindy, it really doesn't take a whole lot of strength. It's all about the amount of pressure and the angle you put it on at. Like right now, at this angle I have to use a little bit of strength for it. But if you get it in a certain angle, you really don't have to. I wish I could let you come try mine so you'd know. They do have automatic rivet presses, but those are really expensive. Ooh, look at that front panel, y'all. Just look at that. There you go. Beautiful. Okay, so now I'm going to add the base to my bag. And then we're ready to do the lining after a few other steps also. Okay, I'm gonna switch to a 3.5. This vinyl can take that thin of this. So for the Emily, if you guys haven't made it yet, for the base, you just line up those little notches. It's really handy. Could not use it while standing and screw it to a table. This is the Emily bag, my own sewing pattern. Actually, you may not need to screw it to a table. Right now I have this bar stool and I have this non-slip grip stuff underneath, and if I use it on this while standing, they don't move. So it's less permanent. But screwing is probably like, screwing it to a table is probably the best way to ensure it won't move. So this is not stated in the pattern. It's not necessary, but you can do it where you fold this seam. Thanks, Kylie. It's like I gotta screwing it to a table, screwing it down. Just kind of top stitch that bottom panel. Gives it a nice touch. Keep it PG, Lauren. Jeez. Sorry. Gotta make it interesting. You guys endured the lost slide adjuster debacle of 2018. I have a headache, so all the words are not going to my mouth. I'm just gonna stop talking. Okay, 3.5 stitch length along that bottom panel. If the bag is going to be used as more of a handbag than a crossbody bag, you can add purse feet. Stop! I can't. Just not going to talk anymore. This would be the best time to add those purse feet. You could add 4, 5, or 6 purse feet. Whatever floats your boat. Oh my god, I thought I sewed it on wrong. Okay, so now what you do is you take your sides and line them up. Flip them together. My other side is actually slightly smaller, but it is not a big deal. It's going to get hidden in the seam allowance. Not worried about it. Okay, so 1/2 inch seam allowance. Using a 3.5 would be best, not a 5. congratulations. I'm gonna win $100 from Gold Star. Just kidding. It is kind of like a faux leather, real leather. It's definitely the closest to real leather vinyl I've ever used. It's pretty thin, which is nice. It's expensive from Joann's. It's $32 a yard, not on sale. But I think I bought it when vinyl was like 60% off, and then I got an extra something off, so I bought like 10 yards. 8 yards or something. I bought my 2 favorites from there. Anyway. 1/2 inch seam allowance, 3.5 stitch length. If you are using the Emily pattern and adding the fleece to the exterior, you would want to trim your seam allowance. I'm not going to because this vinyl is so thin, it's not going to affect it, really. So for the bottom of the bag, it should come together really nicely. This is from Joann's. This should fold under well, and everything should line up if you use the right seam allowance. And then you just sew over top with like a 1/4 of an inch or an 1/8 or 1/2 inch seam allowance. I think my needle is in crooked or something. Something doesn't sound happy. So I'll do this towards the camera. When you pull the sides out, it should literally just line up like that. And then I'm just gonna trim the extra from there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Whisper Vinyl. If I can find it, I will post a link. I just know that it's $32 a yard, and it is called Camel. Woo! Oh my god, this bag looks so good. Ooh! Alright, crossbody strap connectors coming at you. So I have these. I think these crossbody strap connectors are so cool. They're like better than D-rings, honestly. So we're gonna use those. I feel like D-rings slide around a lot. So these pieces are also 2 inch by 4 inch. And I'm gonna make them exactly the same way as my shoulder strap connectors. This is not what the pattern says to do. For the pattern, I have you sew them into the top seam allowance. I have since learned that that's not necessarily the best way to do it, so I add them to the side of the bag now. Emily really needs an upgrade. But it's still possible to make it that way. It's not that big of a deal. We learn and adapt, and it's okay. So these just slide in there. So now these are my crossbody strap connectors. Gonna add another little piece of tape. worse. Okay. You can flip your bag right side out if you want, but I think that having it inside out for this part is easier. And we're just gonna sew it 1.5 inches from the top. I know I need to drink more water, definitely. So there's 1.5 inches from where this part starts, this part here. And we're just gonna sew around the box. So I'm gonna make it a box stitch because I can't add rivets over that center seam, side seam. It's not a center, it's a side. Okay. So try and flatten out that seam if you can. I'm gonna sew a box stitch. Okay, so there's what that looks like. Nice and strong with that box stitch. The box stitch is strong with this one. LOL. So 1.5 inches from the top, you're gonna line up the vinyl piece, nice and centered, and do a box stitch. Open up that side seam. So our exterior is finished. I'm just gonna turn it right side out because I'm excited to see it. Oh, it's gorgeous. There's what that back looks like. I need to add my nameplate somewhere. I think I'm gonna put it, I don't know, I really want to put it on the front, but my cousin, I don't know, I'm gonna put it on the front because I'm real proud of her. Maybe I'll just do a little one though. Just kidding. The back kind of looks like a face, like my face while making this bag. I think that's the perfect name placement because my last name is her last name. All right, so time to work on the lining, and zipper, etc. Let's do the lining first. Okay. So she wants like 3 pen slots stuff on her bag. Finally ran out of bobbin thread. Perfect timing. Knew it was coming. I'm gonna grab this half empty one for now. I really wish I could play music. That would make this go a lot faster, but every time I do, Facebook is like, wait a minute, you don't own the rights to this music. I'm like, oh God, please. Just let me listen to music. Okay, 10 by 13 square. Leave an opening, flip it right side out. I think she's really gonna like this pop of gold in there. I almost wish that these leaves had a little bit of metallic gold in them. That would be so cool. Would you like us to sing to you? Yeah. I don't know that I'll be able to hear it. I have Moana stuck in my head. Thanks, Shay. Just kidding. I was listening to it in the car. All this time wondering where I need to be is behind me. I'm all I am. What I know. Every turn I take, every trail I track, every path I make, every road leads back to place I know I cannot go where I want to be. All right, top stitch. So you could fold this either way, especially since they're two different colors, but I want it to be just that little pop of gold. She wanted like 3 little spots for pens, so I want to make sure it's not too tall. Okay, that looks good. Okay. Good night, Helen. Alright. So there's some little pen and pencil slots. So this one is a canvas fabric and this one is a quilting cotton. So for the most part, I like to use the home decor, but sometimes I'll use like a thicker quilting. So both is the answer. Okay. So now I'm gonna grab one of my lining pieces and we're gonna sew this to it. I'm just gonna eyeball the center. That looks good. And then you're gonna sew in the U shape. Dang it. Sometimes my machine does not like to backstitch. I don't know why. It's very weird. Maybe it's because I didn't hold my threads or something. A lot of people use Cordura. Cordura? I don't know. I just sounded like a real idiot. For linings, and they have some at onlinefabricstore.net, which also has a 14% off coupon code for Valentine's Day. So I'm thinking about ordering some to try out. It's like $12.95 a yard, but it does not need to be like interfaced at all. The rest of the pocket, like she could slide her phone in here, and then this is just a really large slip pocket. You could also fold the pocket a little differently. And then you could use it for card slots, something like that. So this is a slip pocket. This is all for pens, and then this is a slip pocket here. So it's just a fun way to make a handy slip pocket. And that's 2 pieces of fabric that are cut 10 inches by 13 inches. And then I used 1 piece of 809 for this, but you could also 809 just the top parts, so that way it's a little thinner. This is really thick, but I wanted it to be nice and sturdy, since she'll be sliding a lot of pens in and out, you know, on the regular. Okay, so now I'm gonna add my zippered pocket to the lining, which is where I'm gonna berth the bag through as well. So I'm folding them in half to mark my centers. You wanna fold one the opposite way you fold the other, so that you can match up those center pieces. So I've got a nice crease here, and then I can just lay this on top of that crease, and it'll be centered. This is a 10-inch zipper that I'm inserting. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 inches on either side of that center. Because I used fleece in the lining, I don't need to interface my pocket piece at all. It has plenty of body, but you could use a little strip of 809 if you wanted to. My stitch length is set to 3.5, and we're just going to make 2 parallel lines. And backstitch at the start and end of each of those. And then I'm going to cut into them with a Y shape on either side of my start and stop point. You want to cut as close to those threads as possible. Turn it right side out and press it nicely. Got this super fun little donut zipper. Was that not 10 inches? Oh, well, whatever. You're gonna line it up. You can use double-sided tape to hold it in place, or just be mad skilled wizard like me and be able to hold it. Watch out for the metal pieces of your zipper. If you're using a metal zipper. love this little donut pull. It's so cute. Yeah. So there's that. Looking pretty cute. Grab the other side of that piece. And then I just use these clips to hold it in place. Put it right side up. You're gonna leave the bottom open, because that's where we're gonna birth the bag through. Okay. And then I like to fold this under and iron. Okay. Woohoo! So those pieces are ready to go. And now we're gonna work on our recessed zipper panel. So the pattern says you can just sew your zipper. Oh, sorry. You can just sew your zipper brain fart to the lining and just keep it in the seam, which is great if you're new to in zippers like that. But I'm using a metal zipper and I want it to be a little bit wider. I totally forgot to cut lining fabric the same size as my recessed zipper, so I'm going to do that really quick. It's going to take 2 seconds or a minute and a half to be more honest. Wait a minute. What am I doing? Yeah, I'm doing it. And I have just enough left over to make her a wristlet. I'm so excited. Okay. What thread are you using with this bag? I am using Tex 46. Iron my zipper one more time. Okay. So I'm gonna sew this to the end of my zipper really quick. Wait a minute, fold those edges over and then do it. Yeah, there we go. That's better. And I ran out of bomb thread. Oh, I love it. Perfect timing. So I'm adding a little bit of an end to my zipper. This is an 18-inch zipper. And then I'm going to trim the excess on the sides without cutting through my zipper tape. So that's what it'll look like. Maybe to just melt those a little bit. Man, I'm trying to think of how the Sydney one goes. It's been so long since I've made it. Okay, no, I know. So we're going to fold our edges under about 1/2 inch on every single piece. We're going to make them the same size, so in the end they'll be about 15 inches wide. Boom. God, I'm so good. Okay, fold it under. So this was a 16-inch piece, and we're just folding the edges under 1/2 inch so that when it is then 15 inches. So yesterday when we made the compass bag, we did a lazy recessed zipper, and this is a little more involved. Okay, so now it's 15 inches wide, perfect. And we gotta fold this vinyl piece under 1/2 inch. Good thing I've got 1/2 inch leather tape. So every piece, I have a total of 4 pieces. Oh man. I just added the tape to the wrong piece. 4 total pieces, 2 are vinyl, 2 I don't need in this area, and 2 are fabric. Okay, this needs to go away. This is for my linings. Okay. So on our 16-inch pieces, not 18 inches, we're going to fold this under. And fold that under. So it'll look like that. That under. Okay. So I want the vinyl to be on top. So we're gonna put our zipper up against it with the teeth down. So the vinyl is facing up, my zipper is facing teeth down. And I'm gonna fold it out at 90 degrees. And line it up with the top. So that it looks like that. You can buy this sewing pattern from my website. However, we are making a ton of changes to it right now because of the customer requests. So now I'm adding my lining fabric, the part that goes underneath, and it's face down. So right sides are together. And I'm gonna slide this clip out. And using a 3.5 stitch length, we're sewing it all together. And if your pieces don't quite line up, you can refold the lining piece. Oh, things are shifting. And then you're gonna fold both pieces away. Make sure you catch your zipper. Damn it. I didn't. I thought I had it, but I didn't. Yeah, I know. I need to make dinner soon. What time is it, Ashley? CJ gets off work at 6 today, so I've got time. I'm almost done though. There we go. All right, try that again. I'm gonna unzip my zipper actually. Messing up is totally part of it. That's what I meant to do that. Oh no, it's 5:50? Oh well. We'll just eat later. So I'm gonna iron this open. Careful not to iron your vinyl. I literally almost ironed my vinyl, like a doofus. Whew, 5:57. Well, dinner will be late, whatever. So when you fold it over, that's what it's gonna look like. It's gonna be kind of hard. Eleanor, the pattern that is out has not changed in any way, shape, or form. It hasn't been rewritten yet. If you have the pattern, you can just kind of watch my cutting and interfacing video to learn how I adapted it. If that makes sense. When and if I ever do rewrite the pattern, I have had no time. It will be resent to everyone who's ever purchased the pattern. Hopefully that makes sense. So it's not beautiful, but this raw edge part gets sewn into the seam allowance when you add the recessed zipper top to your lining. And we're just gonna repeat those same steps and hope it turns out. Line those up as best you can. I actually have someone writing my patterns. We're seeing how that works out so that I can release more without spending hours and hours using my terrible English. Even though English is my only language, I suck. Yeah, the Emily bag is just kind of like a suggestion for a purse that has since been adapted an insane amount of times for me anyway, just because it's such a simple tote. Okay, so then you open it up, iron it, and then you're gonna stitch around the entire piece. I have it set to 3.5, but I should have not. Okay, we're like 10 minutes away from being done. Just kidding, probably more. Okay, so now here is your recessed zipper area. When you open it up, that's what it is. So now we're gonna grab one of our lining panels and one of our recessed zipper top panels. Kind of want to line this up with the center. You're gonna have, let's see, that's 1.75. Okay. You're gonna have in between 1.5 and 1.75 on either side. I am using Tex 46 thread, and so I'm on my like third 2.5 bobbins or so. I've used one full, 1/2, and this is my full. Okay, so this is face up on top of my lining, and then this piece is gonna go face down on top of it, and you're gonna use a 1/2 inch seam allowance. So like that. So your zipper should be facing up, your lining should be facing up, and then this top part of the lining is going to be facing down. Use about a 4 3.5 stitch length and a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Go. Okay. So then I'm going to fold this up, and I'm just going to top stitch along here. You don't want to like lift this up and top stitch, so you're just going to top stitch on top of all of that using a 5, 4.5, whatever you feel like. Okay, so there's what it looks like. So now we're going to grab our other lining piece and our other recessed zipper top panel. I'm going to lay the lining pieces. I'm lining up the squares, and I'm just going to flip this over, pull out the zipper, line it up, and clip it into place. Grab this, line it up. They're gonna see us from outer space, light it up. And then we're gonna use that 4 3.5 stitch length, 1/2 inch seam allowance, and go. And then you're just gonna lift this part up and top stitch. Make sure you switch to like a 4.5 or something. Go fast. Go fast. Okay. So now, this is what you have. Make sure you tuck in the tail of that zipper. You don't want it hanging out. And then line up the top of your panels up here. Make sure your squares line up. And again, that tail is going to want to stick out. Make sure you shove it back in there. Don't sew through the tail. And if you made a little key finder, I like to add it where the zipper starts so that you can unzip your zipper just a little bit and grab it. So that's where that's gonna go. And 1/2 inch seam allowance. Stitch length set to about a 3.5. And then you can make your seam allowance a little bit bigger as you go towards the bottom of the bag so that it's not saggy and it's not too big. I do not lift my needle up, I just kind of bring that corner towards my needle so that it's easier to make my corners. And see, this tail is sticking out, shove it back in. Don't sew through the tail. Unless, of course, you're doing it as the pattern tells you to do, and then you will sew through the tail. But hopefully you're not using a metal zipper. And then grab your corners, match them up. And sew using about a 1/2 inch seam allowance. If you want to trim your excess seams, you can. I am not, because I don't have much to the outside of the bag, so I want to give it as much body as possible. And I like to open up that seam so it's less bulk. About a 1/2 inch seam allowance. All right. So you pull your lining right side out. Mostly just to admire it because it looks so good. Trim your excess little threads. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, I'm so glad we're almost done. I have such a headache. I like to unzip my zipper all the way, if you can. I like that key finder. Grab your exterior, turn it wrong side out if you ever turned it right side out. And then you want to think, ooh, home with a glass of wine, nice. Be so fancy. You want to keep in mind how the bag zips and how the person will wear it. And you want your zipper going from like back here to zip this way on average. That's what I do anyway. And then I have my zippered pockets on opposite sides, and I have the slip pocket really accessible as you reach in. And then you're just gonna line up your side seams. Make sure your turning through hole, your zippered pocket on the inside is open, accessible. Guys, we're almost done. I'm so excited to see this finish. I hope my cousin flippin' loves it for the $70 she spent. Because I would probably charge like $200 for something like this. Okay, so clipped all the way around. Yeah. 1/2 inch seam allowance. I've got it set to a stitch length of 4. You can sew from the inside or the outside. I'm gonna sew from the outside just because I love making my life harder. Make sure your pieces don't get wonky. Ah, I did. If you added this front piece, make sure it stays folded up. You would hate to catch that. I am not going to trim the excess in the top of my bag because there is not a lot of bulk. I'm just gonna birth it. Oh, FML. I didn't unzip my zipper. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. It's not hard to do. Except when you use fleece for your lining. That's when it's hard. Okay, is this the front? Is this the zipper? There we go. I got it. No worries. Luckily it's a long zipper pull. Okay, I got it. This 10-inch zipper gives us a really nice birthing hole, so I'm pretty excited about that. Can you guys send some heart emojis across the screen to get me through the next 10 minutes of making this bag? I would really love that. I could use some heart emojis. Yeah, there we go, thanks. Appreciate you. Ah, I feel better. All the heart emojis. Alright, so sewing up my birthing hole, stitch length set to like 3.5. If you need to iron it, you can. Thanks guys, appreciate you. Woo. Alright, now shove the lining into the bag. Zip up your birthing hole. Make sure your bottom is nice and pulled out of there. Woo! This looks so good. So what's nice about using the same as your exterior for the top of your recessed zipper panel is that it makes it a really nice finish on the top of the bag. But it also makes it a little complicated to know where to top stitch, but you're just gonna fold that over clip. Make sure you pull your lining down. Oh my goodness, this looks so good. She's not even gonna know what hit her. Maybe I should add her to this group so she can like watch the video to really appreciate it. For all of the hell that it took, the electrical wires, a hole in the walls that I've got friends who you just want to like roll that seam to make sure you don't catch anything you're not supposed to. Yeah, Maria, I definitely suggested that earlier. I asked my cousin and she said she did not want to add any feet to the bottom of the bag because it's mostly going to be used crossbody for her anyway. Okay, so at this point I like to poke my lining down into the bottom, make sure it looks good. Test your zipper, make sure it's face up. So there's what the top looks like, all nicely zippered. You got this tail that you can just poke back in the bag. So, wanna make me one now, yeah. So there's what that looks like. I'm excited to take pictures of it. Definitely gonna add like a keychain to the top zipper pull because it's a little tiny little, it's a little donut pull. Okay, so now we're gonna top stitch and hope we don't mess it up. I'm gonna start on the back of the bag. I'm using a 4.5 stitch length, and I'm gonna switch to a 5. Before you start this, you want to make sure that you have plenty of bobbin. Cannot stress that enough. It's heartbreaking to run out of bottom thread in the final top stitch. Your sides might be a little bulky, so make sure you go slow. Make sure you move your recessed zipper tail out of the way. Okay, so now we just need to rivet the handles on. I'm gonna do riveting the handles on now, probably actually. Here's my crossbody strap. This bag is intense. Here's the inside. Yeah, Cindy, this was super easy to add. You just cut the panel in half and add a zipper. For reals, yo, for reals. Okay, so now I'm gonna rivet the handles on. I really suck at explaining things. So it won't be me writing patterns anymore. I'll just be designing them. Okay, time to rivet handles on. Whoa, where did that go? Well, maybe. Whatever. Seeing things done helps a ton. I'm definitely a visual learner. All right, what time is it? You get in my car, you cannot. $6:18, that's not bad. Ruth, I think Ben is upstairs sleeping in bed. Aww. Oh, look at those handles. Nice and long. Yeah. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to make another one of these for me. Just kidding. I ain't got time for that. Okay. So this vinyl is super thick, so it takes a lot of pressure to poke through it. Oops. Talk so much, I'm sure I didn't realize I'd go crazy. Guess I don't have to make dinner tonight, right? Just kidding. I will. Have you ever had, Pierre, I have not actually. The only time I've had a rivet pop out is when it was attached to canvas. And the only reason it popped out is because the canvas started to fray underneath. Yeah, I'm surprisingly strong, but I'm not like super strong. I'm just more strong-willed. Like my wrists are gonna kill me later. We're almost done, and I'm so excited. Whew, I am super hungry. Aw. Yeah, that would be hard. Okay. Ow. It's done. Bag is intense, man. I know, I need to do that. I guess this bag would be worn on this side, because I kind of did it wrong. it's pretty slouchy, but it has some body. I call next. And the drama, I know, right? We have an Instant Pot. I don't know how to use it. CJ uses it. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna make her a matching wristlet while I cook dinner. Bye, guys.